So what we do is we will first talk about our experiences, and and then we take up the further stuff. Okay, so the last experiment was, can anybody tell me what was the last experiment? When you focus on something, that expands, right? So essentially what it means is, it's like, think like this, there is a mist, it's like a cloud which is a mist. And as it expands, it will include you. You will become part of the mist. Now, you won't realize when you became part of it. So whenever you are focusing on something, it just gets zoomed, zoom out, zoom in or whatever. And then you become part of it, right? And then you won't even realize that it's all around you. You are just part of it. So that is when manifestation can happen. It's not exactly you are getting something, you're actually becoming that, or you're actually in that. That's why you're seeing that. So that's also in a way saying that you raise to that frequency level. So you become that, right? So it'll start becoming more and more evident when we start doing other few experiments. Okay, so that was the last experiment, and let me start with my experience. My experience was a little weird. Now, for some reason, this time I wanted to, we all decided to manifest something, right? We wanted something, and we'll decide which is supposedly should be happening in 48 hours. The first thing which came to my head was, I want to lose weight. I want to look thin. It's like a never-ending project of my life. Lifetime achievement award. Someday I'll get it. Anyway, that's different. But so I thought in 48 hours it won't happen. See, already I just left that. So I just wanted to decide on something else. And I couldn't. Very honestly, I didn't think that I should ask for more money. I should ask for something else. Nothing. I just didn't know what I should really manifest. So this is one thing I realized, that I probably not looking at something materialistic to come to me right now. Okay, so then I thought, okay, but I need to do, right? So I thought, let it be as weird as possible. Then I put my intention that I want to see my mother and speak to her. My mother has passed away December 2021. Now I want to see how this manifests. Okay, but already my conscious mind is working. Since I do a lot of things about astral projections, I thought it will be astral projection only. I know it. Okay, so I already setting, background and even process I'm setting here, right? So sure short of failure. But anyway, I thought, okay, fine, let me see what happens. And I had gone to my native place where my mother was. So I had gone to that house. And I was sleeping in the same bed as my mother. And my daughter she was also sleeping with me, but she was very late. I don't know what she was doing. And then she walked inside the room, and I'm hallucinating. I'm just looking at her, and I wanted to tell her, please switch off the house lights and come and sleep. This is what I wanted to say. And I was so sure I was saying that. But she asked me, okay, what is your leg saying? This is what she asked me. And I'm looking at her and thinking, why is she asking this question? But at that time, I realized I am talking something nonsense and she is questioning me that. Though my mind wants to say that, switch off all the lights and sleep, I might have said something else. And so she is saying the question that, okay, what's your leg is telling? And then in that moment when I was aware of what's happening to me, that is when the lucid dream starts. And you're aware of your dream, okay? And then something happened in that moment. I'm seeing myself there standing next to my daughter. And I realized that that's the astral projection. So I'm here physically being aware of everything. And I'm astrally there with my daughter, looking at how I'm sleeping. So there are two memories now, astral memory, physical memory. Now I am flipping between the two. Now this astral projected myself is looking at me and thinking, oh my God, I'm sleeping exactly like my mother. In that moment, I am seeing myself as my mother sleeping there. And she used to talk a lot in the dream. And I'm seeing that there. Exactly. I saw my mother there. And I'm telling myself, no, that's me only. But I'm projecting like that. Okay. And then here, this side, physically I'm sleeping and I'm thinking, oh, myself is standing there next to my daughter. And I'm trying so hard to tell her what I'm trying to say is switch off the lights and sleep. And I'm feeling very helpless because I'm not, it's a very confused mind. It's seeing two things and it's so confused. So I managed to tell her, I don't know how to say it. And then she said, it's all right. I know you're sleeping. So sleep. You don't have to say it. So this is the real thing, what she said. So I have a reality here. I have an astral projection, which is seeing a different time and space. Okay. And then I slept off. And the next day morning, I just spoke to her. I recollected. At that time, she said, what I told her was, my leg is telling something to you. Okay, this is what she told apparently. So then the conversation. Then I was thinking, okay, I happened to see my mother. I really saw. But I also had put an intention that I want to hear something from her, right? I want to have a conversation with her. Then I thought, okay, let me see, because one day was over. The next day was still there, 48 hours. I was wondering, what is that I can, let me see how it, opens up. And I was clearing up an old wardrobe, my mom's wardrobe, and I found a diary, which she had written it probably for a long time. Every date she has put and she's written a diary. And so I just randomly opened. And there is a letter to me and my sister. And she's written in 2017. She's written that letter. Was I wrong is the heading she's put. And she's written a letter. And then in 2018, she's gone back to that. She's read it. She's corrected a little bit in different pen ink. And in the same ink, she's written, please read this. Do not forget to read this. That means it was very important for her to tell both of us. But she didn't have that, I don't say guts. She didn't know how to discuss about it. So she wanted us to read it after she dies. And I happened to just exactly open it. And I read that. So then I realized, oh my God, she's telling me. So I saw her and I spoke to her. Both happened. So this was my experience of how the FP can tell you what exactly you want to know. Though you have an intent, but the experience is something which you cannot even imagine when you put the intent, right? The experience is different, phenomenal. Whether we'll be ready to take that experience or not, we don't know. But of course, you asked it. Now you eat it. You can't help it, isn't it? Yeah. So that's what my experience. Now I open the stage to everybody. Of course, Navina has already raised a hand. So the first prize goes to Navina. Navina, you can start.
Yeah, hello everyone. I'm just coming out of what you shared. So I will go backwards, of my experiences. Just some time back, and you all would be laughing what happened. Isha is already laughing. So, we say that how, the whole experiment was that how we, the thing which we focus on, it expands and we are part of it. So I wanted to actually, call Isha that if you're free, I wanted to discuss with her something. And I saw her online. So I was about, half sentence I wrote. And then I deleted because she immediately went offline. I said, okay, maybe, 5 o'clock she has a session with us. She'll be busy. So I just said, okay, forget it, maybe some other time. And I think after 5 or 10 minutes of that incident, Isha is calling me. I hadn't messaged her. It was half message and I deleted it and I didn't send her. And she's calling me, Navina, this I wanted to say to you, something she had to share from her end. I said, I'm saying, Isha, before you share, this is why I'm laughing. So this was one thing which happened, like, the thing, like I was already in the field. I wanted to talk to her, although for a different reason and what she talked. But the thing is that I got a call from her. We had a talk. So that was important. This was one. The second thing, again, going a little backwards, is that, when I was traveling, I came back to Bengaluru yesterday. I was traveling 2, 3 cities. And yesterday I was in the airport in the morning, and somewhere I was at my luggage, maybe overweight or something, and I was traveling by Indigo. So I was wondering because Indigo people, my experiences, they are very strict in luggage. Even if half kg extra, they charge for it. So I was wondering, okay, at home I've taken it shouldn't be extra, but again I am thinking that if case it's extra, but again I put the intention that no, everything would be managed easily. I will not shell up any of my money. And you won't believe, I was laughing at the counter. That person, he said, this is only one luggage. He said it's 16.8. I said, okay. I thought next he will ask me money. And he said, no, it's okay. He just said, okay, it's 16.8. You have only one luggage. It's okay. And he just let me go, not even asking a single penny. This was the second experience. Yeah. And the final one more thing which I would like to experience, like the day when we started the experiment, I was in 2 minds. I was wanting two things, and I said, okay, money, I need more. So I put an intent of an X amount of money. I said by tomorrow, my account or in my phone pay, this amount should be credited. Let me see. And I had no clue, no clients, nothing at all, and I was in another town. I said, okay, let's see. And I forgot about it. I think either within those 2 days or the next day later, the third day, there were three credits, and one of the credit was exactly the amount of which I had told. It was from some other person, some other family member, but it had credited to my account. So, I had not made specific that it should be from my own, it was just I needed a receipt. And that is how I manifested it. So these were the three important things. There were other manifestations too, but I am sure many of us are here. So these were the major manifestations. Rather, I would say that I could tap upon the field of potentiality and expand myself and include myself in it. So thank you so much for holding this space for me. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much for sharing. Wonderful, really wonderful. Okay, so Anna.
Yeah, I had this plant which was not flowering. It was flowering, but I pruned it and it had stopped flowering. So I just spoke to it. I said, I want to see flowers. What's happened to you? You're not flowering at all. And there yesterday I saw one purple flower. And after that, it hasn't flowered, just that one flower. As if to prove, okay, I listened to you, no more.
You need to talk more, I guess.
Yeah. And then I wanted a break from cooking, and I was just wishing this husband of mine goes on a official trip, so that I get a break. And he suddenly announced I'm going to Qatar for 2 days. I said, oh, wow. So that was the second one. Yeah.
Wonderful. See, they may be very small and tiny. I mean, whatever, it's not you're not saying that, okay, I want to stop the Second World War. It's not like that. But they're so tiny, but they prove again and again that yes, it is possible. What it matters is, are you putting the intent? Oh, everything else, whatever is happening, is also our own intent. That's what we are trying to prove here. So such beautiful things to hear, actually. And do not discount on any small little things which are happening in your life. It's just that you're being aware and you're able to, the moment you build your belief that anything is possible for you, that's when the bigger things will happen. Right? So that's why it's very important that whenever we share things like that, we'll have a hearty laugh also, but then it builds the belief, right? So I encourage everybody to share anything, little thing. Do not doubt, oh, it would have happened anyway. It's like, oh, coincidences. No, please, let's share it. Okay, and then trust me, everything is part of the field of potentiality, and it's brilliant. Okay, so if no one else has anything, I'm going to stop this sharing
Gauri
thing.
wanted to share. Gauri has a finger
Gauri,
raised.
you did?
So I just
Okay,
want
so your physical hand is raised. Yeah.
So I just wanted to say that what I had like kind of put the intent, it did not manifest.
Why? Because something else you brought in.
I don't know because it doesn't seem
Or
to be.
it has manifested, but in a different shape and size.
So I don't know because it was something like which was kind of taken to be done, but it was not being done. It was some agreement which is to be signed.
Is it like 48 hours kind of thing?
I did that also. Like I put that intent that yes, I'm seeing it happening.
No, what I'm saying is it possible for it? Do you think it would have been possible in 48 hours? Or
Yeah,
if it
yeah.
has a many dependencies, then
It does
you will
have
be
dep-
clearing all of those.
Okay, it has dependencies, of course, because it's an agreement between parties. So it is obviously dependent, but it
So
was
what
like
you need to do is, how much of it moved towards it is what you measure.
that I will know when I'm actually signing how much is moved.
Is there any, let's assume for this sign to happen, I need to gather, this person, I need to gather this data, document, or, Sunday is a
Nothing of that
holiday, so
sort.
it won't happen. So things like
Verbally,
that.
verbally it has been agreed, but to sign, it has still getting delayed. It's been like delayed for more than 10 days now. So I
Okay.
just put an intent for 48 hours, like, let's see it happening.
Okay. So now it'll be very interesting to know when it happens.
Exactly. So that's
But
what
do not
leave
do
the.
not here. Don't take that intent away. Keep it
Okay.
there.
Okay.
And then you see what is it dodging it.
Okay. Fine.
Okay.
Fine, fine.
Okay, that's wonderful, Gauri. Okay, so let me stop this recording.